Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and what I want to talk about in this video is something more to do with soft skills, what's classed these days as soft skills, and life skills, which you need if you're in the close protection business. One of the main things you need in the close protection business, one in life in general these days, but a lot of people seem to be lacking it, is common sense. People have asked me how they can work for me, work for my companies, etc. Well, I got a video up about that, and generally you can't. But if I'm looking at people these days, the first thing I'm thinking about is, can they function in life? Can they live their lives? One topic on that, I knew a good guy in US that used to do bits for me, whatever, nice enough guy, but how can I put it, he was a mummy's boy. And that limited him extremely. Why? Because I remember once his mummy, 30-year-old guy, etc., 30-year-old whatever, but still lived with his mum. He was good for what he did for me, but he was limited in his employability as far as I'm concerned. 30 years old, lived with his mom, etc. And I remember once his mum went away on holiday, and within a couple of days he was complaining he had no food in the house, he'd spent all his money, done this, he'd done that, it's a disaster, his mum's not there to look after him. You know what? I left home at 16. And to me, if you're guys in there, if you're 15, 16, etc., you should be able to look after yourself. If you're somebody that's older than that, I was in the military at 17, so let's give people their dues. I was in Northern Ireland at 17. You know what? If you're a guy over 16, 17, and you can look after yourself, and you need a mummy to do this, mummy to do that, you know what? You shouldn't be in the close protection business. Or your wife to do this, your wife to do that. You shouldn't be in the close, or your husband. You shouldn't be in the close protection business. This is where, when I look at people, I look to see if people can function, if they can live their lives without drama. If you can't live your life without drama, if you can't look after yourself, there's no way you can look after other people. Now back on to soft skills. I'll give you another example of common sense in the close protection business, common basic skills. I tell people, if they're doing my courses, when we run courses these days, because we've not been running them, we might be running them again in the future, you need to think about, if you're on one of my courses and this is how we assess people, would I give you a job afterwards? And you need to think about it from your perspective. Do you actually think that the client, if you're working for a client, would employ you after that day, still employ you, or just fire your ass? And in a lot of cases, people get fired. One story, I remember I had a couple of guys come through a course I was running in South Florida many years ago. Big guys, whatever, I don't believe half of what they were saying, but ex-Marines, done this, done that, SWAT cops, whatever. Talking about rifling, the different rifling and different barrels of guns and bullet spin and this and all the technical BS that geeks know. That's absolutely not relevant to me. You know what, if I'm dealing with a rifle, give me a rifle, I pull the trigger and I'll hopefully hit the target. I don't need to know all the technicalities, because that's not my world. I got other things to worry about. Anyway, one of the things these guys had experienced, they'd done done everything before, but they come to me for a training course, and they lasted 2 days of a 4-day course. I took them to one shopping mall where I used to run counter surveillance drills, etc. And a lot of our courses, you're out in public, we're running things in public because that's the environment you're going to be working in. That way you can see what works and what doesn't work. So we're there doing the drills, etc. Okay, large place in South Florida, multiple parking lots, etc. So, okay, drills are done. I don't know, I can't remember how they're done. I just remember this part. So, end of the course, I said to him, okay, let's go back to the car. Now they're both looking at each other because they can't remember what parking lot they parked the car in. This is a big shopping mall with multiple parking lots. So they're looking around, whatever. And again, generally, I'm a dick with people. So I said, okay, I'll follow you back to the car. And I'm watching them from a distance. They're scratching their head. And I've done this to multiple people just to prove the point. And again, they couldn't find, I had to take them back to the car, and they're pissed off. They're fuming. And I said to him, okay, you know what, you might be high speed and all the rest of it, which they weren't. You might think you're high speed. Okay, if you're working with a client, if you're out, you're driving the client, now you're leaving the car somewhere, even though you shouldn't. Somebody should always stay with the car, I know that, but reality, things change. You're off with the client, or even if you're providing protective surveillance, you park your car somewhere and now it's time to go back to the car and you can't find the car. Do you think the client's gonna, are you gonna keep your job? Is the client gonna be happy? If a client says, yeah, go pick the car up, pick me up at whatever entrance. One, you can't find the car and you don't know what entrance they're talking about. So this is it, a simple thing of can you find the car or not can mean whether you keep a job or not. And this is where a lot of people don't think the simple things. Yes, they're thinking what guns they can carry and what ammunition they've got and all the tactical bullshit. But it's the little things that tend to keep the jobs. And again, I tell people, when you're working with a client, it's no different than if you're protecting yourself. You're going to be doing the same thing you do on a daily basis. You just need to work into that you're actually more aware, because you need to be protecting somebody, not just protecting yourself. And I tell people, you need to get used to doing all your counter surveillance drills, etc., 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 being aware of what's going on around you. If you're used to doing that on a daily basis, when you're working with a client, it's simple. Well, it's not simple, it's part of your daily routine. You just got somebody else to keep an eye on. You got somebody else to consider. And simple things of where you park the car can mean the difference between you keeping your job and being sent home on a bus, could because the client found the car themselves and drove themselves home. So again, little story there on why you need common sense in the close protection business and why a lot of people are lacking common sense. I know people, they got all the certificates, all the tactical gear, etc. You know what, they're just playing games. I think when they go to the bathroom, their mothers bring them the toilet paper, but as long as they're happy with that, no worries. So follow me along on social media. I got more of these videos up. I like LinkedIn at the moment. We're up on the videos and contents up on other social media platforms. We're on the main ones under Risk Inc. and also my handle of Artful Gypsy. I have an array of books up on Amazon that talk about various aspects of close protection business, etc. We've just updated the website under my URL. Truth only has a few friends. And we also have a Telegram group for the stuff we can't put up on the main platforms because it upsets people and offends people, but it's reality. So follow us along. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. In the meantime, think about, if you want to get into close protection business, or if you're even in the close protection business, can you actually manage your own life? Can you look after yourself? And if the answer is no, then please stay away from me. If the answer is yes, then maybe you have a future in the close protection business and investigations business and life in general. In the meantime, be good, stay safe, and as always, stay out of trouble.